Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play Shining Force. As you can see, we have made it finally into the land of Runefaust, which is apparently really, really tiny. Like, this is Runefaust, right here. Super small. Really itty-bitty. Alright, when you get to this town being Runefaust, which I guess is also the capital of a country called Runefaust, you will notice, directly above you, this bush. Search the bush, and it talks to you. The bush informs you that it's a ninja named Hanzo, and it shall join your battle, because apparently bushes don't have a very strong grasp on the English language, even ninja bushes. But guess what? When you actually go to your headquarters, it turns out that it's not a bush at all, it was a ninja hiding in the bush. Let's go find Hanzo. Oh, he's around here. Ah, here he is. Up at the bar. Just like a ninja should. Yeah, that's what he says. If you put him on your team, they won't even see him coming. Speaking of which, it's time to put him on our team. And Ken, I'm afraid, should see this coming, but maybe he won't, because he's kinda dumb. Sorry, Ken. You are getting left behind. Of course, Ken is dead, and I haven't bothered resurrecting him. So he's really in no position to complain about the fact that he's been replaced. Yep, that's the Shining Force. There's really no reason to resurrect people you're not going to use again, other than I guess some sort of nascent feelings of guilt about the fact that you've decided to let someone just stay dead. Now you might notice that people in Runefaust are strangely polite. And that's because they've all decided that you're not so bad after all. It's really Dark Souls' fault that they were so mean. See, he tricked them. He tricked them into being bad people. It's the I was just following orders defense. And you don't really have the option to attack these people anyway, so you might as well take advantage of their hospitality. Now, this is, I believe, the first and only time in the entire game where you can actually get a deal on stuff. The Doom Blade, if you don't get Hanzo, right, you have no Doom Blade. Doom Blade is a good weapon, not better than the Chaos Breaker though, and as it turns out, I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure if Musashi can use the Doom Blade. Let's have a look. What does Musashi equip it? I think he just has a katana, right? Yeah, he has a katana, which gives him an attack of 59. And just a quick save state in case I screw this up. Let's see what the Doom Blade gives us. Alright, Musashi. Nope. Nope. Now let's see if this actually raises his attack. No, actually it lowers it. So we're going to load real fast. Yeah, good thing I did that save state. I didn't even realize that the Doom Blade was worse than what he already had. The only thing that I could really see myself wanting here is the Demon Rod. And I'm not sure if that's cursed or not. Let's find out. I believe this is actually the only place in the entire game where you can get these deals, which is pretty sad. It's this thing that shows up on the menu throughout the entire game, and you only get to use it once at the very end. So as you can see, that raises her attack to a pretty nice 49. But it's cursed. So we're going to do a load again, and we're going to actually avoid buying anything from this guy, because I actually quick confession, I actually spent some time before this playthrough going through and re-equipping some of my guys. As you can see, Lyle now has a Buster Shot, which is actually the strongest artillery weapon in the game. I'm not sure if I just missed the less powerful Assault Shell in an earlier town, or what happened there, but we've gone straight from the Elven Arrow all the way up to the very most powerful archer weapon that Lyle could possibly get. Yep, everyone's really glad that I freed them from Darksaul, even though really I didn't do anything. Darksaul just kind of ran away like a big puss. Wow, that was a great story, lady. Thanks for that. Speaking of stories and things that are kind of dumb, I was just thinking the other day. You know that whole legend about the two heroes? You know how it's like, oh, two heroes will save us from Darksaul? Well, think about it for a second. You've got the Sword of Light, you've got the Sword of Darkness, right? There's two magical legendary swords, just like there's two magical legendary heroes. But the thing is, in order to actually stop Dark Dragon, you have to forge those two swords into the Chaos Breaker. So what the heck is the point of having two heroes? Right? What you're going to end up with in that situation is one hero who gets to wield this awesome lightsaber thing, right, the Chaos Breaker, to destroy Dark Dragon, and then one who's stuck with some crappy sword like a broadsword or something. Or I guess maybe a Doomblade, but still, come on. Like, could you imagine being the second hero, the one who doesn't get to carry the Chaos Breaker? That would suck. I would be super pissed. So, it's pretty convenient for us that Kane bit it 3 times, but actually really bit it for that final time, because... oh look, I can get through now. Because that means we get to wield the Chaos Breaker, and there's nothing he can do about it. Uh-oh, it's Darksaul. You again, Buffon? How unfortunate for you! Now I must be off to summon Dark Dragon, but don't worry, someone is waiting for you. King Ramladu will serve my purposes one last time, then I will have no need for him. I must be going to enjoy your meeting with Ramladu. Dark Dragon arises soon. You know, he had so many opportunities to whack him with the Chaos Breaker there. I don't know what Buffon was doing. That was pretty poor, all said. Ah, it's King Ramladu. But now he's running away. So, as you might imagine, you don't get to actually kill King Ramladu in this battle. There's another battle that comes after this where you actually fight him. This battle is pretty tough, mostly because of these new enemies you see here. These are blue dragons. As you can see, really high attack, pretty darn high hit points and agility. Not the best defense, but they breathe ice. So they're kind of like really nasty flying ice worms. And chimeras, which are pretty similar to blue dragons, except they breathe fire. These are sort of like the ultimate enemies in this game. Luckily, chimeras are susceptible to ice magic. And you know what, I'm going to do a save state here real fast, because I don't remember this battle too terribly well, and if I end up dying, that's going to be really unfortunate. So it looks like at least a couple of the chimeras are going to advance on us here. Or maybe just that one. I don't know. Let's see what happens. This is not a good battle to just rush headlong into the enemy, though. I will say that. Okay, looks like those two chimeras are going to be pretty much it, as far as the initial assault. Look at those things. Pretty cool looking. And as you can see, also highly susceptible to ice. Taking a 20-point hit there from freeze level 3. I have a sneaking suspicion that Henri could one-shot one of these guys with freeze level 4, despite the fact that they have a whopping 56 hit points apiece. I suppose we'll just have to see what happens. As I said, I'm just going to wait for these guys to approach me, because if there's one thing I don't want, it's drawing in large groups of chimeras unnecessarily. Although, with that said, I do kind of want to use freeze level 3 on this guy. I mean, after all, what's the point of having the Chaos Breaker if you don't whack guys with it? Although, you know, I think Buffon could probably just kill this guy with an attack. Let's find out. Ooh, very close. But no cigar. Looks like that honor will fall to Dow. Although... yeah, why not? I'd like her to level up a little more, if only so she gets more maximum magic points. Right now, she is just shy of being able to use Blaze level 4 4 times per battle. Yeah, okay, alright. Oh, good. Very, very good. She can now use Blaze level 4 4 times per battle, and a little Blaze 1 on top of it. Pretty awesome attack animations the Chimeras have. Kind of forgot about that, the way they just sort of leap up into the air and bite your guys. The one nice thing about Chimeras is that, in spite of their ferocity, they're nicely squishy. By which I mean, they don't have the highest defense. It makes it eminently possible to kill them with only a few characters. Alright, Hanzhou. As you can see, Hanzhou, in addition to being a reasonably competent fighter, has magic. Sleep, Dispel, and De-Soul. I can't say I've ever really used Hanzhou for his magic much. Simply because all of those are spells which only work part of the time. But, that said, it is still pretty cool that he has them. It makes him fairly unique among the Shining Force characters, in that he's both a fighter and a spellcaster. The only other character who really can claim that distinction is Arthur, the really, really crummy Centaur Knight, who I decided not to bother getting when we were in Monarena. I don't think I ever actually commented on him in the videos. I just sort of made a note in the text underneath the video after it that I didn't bother to get him. But here's the deal with Arthur. He's terrible. He's just an awful character. Ooh, an atlas. Now I know where I can go if I need to, like, find a map. Just ask Hanzhou. Just kidding. Actually, Atlas is the best axe in the game, and it is going to be going right to our friend Gort just as soon as Hanzhou comes back from his little treasure hunting expedition. I actually kind of regret now. I'd forgotten that that thing was there. I kind of regret now that I went and bought Gort a new axe. The Great Axe, as you can see. Which, you know, it is pretty great. They weren't lying about that. But compared to Atlas, not that great. Let's send Gort over here and expedite the process a little. And Chris, why don't you do the honors of healing Buffon of his little Little bite wound there from that Chimera. Ramladu's a little bit like Balbazac in that he sort of gets built up immediately before the battles where you fight him, but otherwise you basically don't hear anything about him for the entire game. Which is sort of weird when you think about it. I mean, this game started off with Runefaust invading Guardiana. You'd think his name would have come up at some point, given that he is, in fact, the ruler of Runefaust, but nope. Not even once, not until this chapter. Now, there are a few ways I can approach heading up towards this area. One would be to head up the middle. That's stupid. Heading up the middle means that these guys are going to be able to take pot shots at me. I'm going to have to face all of these guys on my front line, and these guys coming down, and these guys coming down around my flanks. And we all remember how well that situation worked out back when we were fighting Chaos and the robots in order to put together the Chaos Breaker. Yeah, pro tip, don't do that, because it's bad. You do not want to get shanked by getting flanked. I feel like there's some kind of catchphrase in there somewhere. Don't get flanked, or you'll get shanked. Sort of an after-school special lesson you can pass on to the next generation. Ooh, another halberd. There's no reason for me to actually get it, of course, because May is my only centaur. What I could do, though, I suppose, is give it to Kokichi and turn him into even more of a beast. Mind you, the Valkyrie deals more damage than the halberd does, in addition to being a ranged weapon, so he wouldn't be using it for attacking. But that said, he could absolutely use it to cast Bolt level 1 on groups of enemies. Which would make him, not quite another Domingo, but close. He would be another flying spellcaster. And that would be really, really useful. Alright, you go give Gort the Atlas now, and then we will move on and smack around these enemies by moving up on the left flank there and getting ourselves into a nice defensible position right over here. It'll allow us to deal with any of these enemies that kind of come around this way. Man, after that last battle, it is really, really nice to be fighting on stuff with zero land effect. I cannot even tell you how much I dislike those heavy hill forest battles. So, as you can see, a pretty good attack bonus there for equipping the Atlas. Of course, I am still going to keep the Heat Axe around because, frankly, I want Gort to have the option of raining down fiery death on enemies. He doesn't have to have it equipped to do that, of course. And that just makes him even more ferocious a fighter. Alright, once Hanzhao and Gort get out of here, we're going to start advancing up. One thing that's handy about using both Dao and Henri is that a lot of these final battles in the game have a mix of blue dragons and chimeras, which means that you'll be doing a lot of sort of matchmaking, I guess you could say, with regard to who you have casting spells on what. For obvious reasons, you're going to want Henri casting Freeze 4 on the chimeras, and you're going to want to have Dao casting Blaze 4 on the blue dragons. Domingo, of course, will be supporting Henri by virtue of his icy sensibilities. Bolt just remains awesome, purely by virtue of its range and AoE. There aren't any characters in this entire game that are actually weak to Bolt. At least not that I'm aware of. It is always possible that I'm just missing something, of course. Oh, look at that. It looks like I've triggered an advance by the enemy. Or at least by that particular chimera. Oh no, both of the chimeras, possibly all three, will be heading down to intercept me before I can make it over there to flank them. Well, that's okay by me. This just gives Domingo a great opportunity to let off his last Freeze level 3 in spectacular fashion. By far the most useful attack he could have done this whole battle. Alright, it looks like it's time for us to finally see Hanzhao show us what he's got. He has a pretty cool attack animation, comparable to Xylo's before he gets promoted. Check this out. Well, oh, what? Oh, very nice. I was afraid that was going to be a bit of a letdown with that evasion there, but Hanzhao pulled through and showed us what he was made of. The answer to that, by the way, is he's made of ninjutsu and magic. Chimeras are flying enemies, which means that they do really obnoxious stuff like evade constantly. Sort of an unfortunate reality. Luckily, you can't evade Freeze level 4. Although, I don't know that I want her using Freeze level 4 on someone with 16 hit points. That almost seems like a waste. Here, though, is a good opportunity for Mei to use Bolt level 1, perhaps. Or maybe simply just take out this lead Chimera. I think I'll have her do that. Okay, point taken. Maybe I should just use magic for now. Because no one seems able to actually hit these guys. He's equipped with the Atlas. Yes, yes he is. And let's see what he can do to this Chimera here in the middle. Answer, quite a bit. That was a nice chunk of damage he did there. And here's our first chance to witness Lyle using his new artillery. And the Chimera evades that too. Starting to get a little irritated by this. There we go. Musashi doesn't let you down. Musashi is the opposite of Rick Astley. I guess you could say he's the embodiment of Rick Astley, if you believe Rick Astley. Now, obviously the smart thing to do here, and I'm just going to do a quick save state, the smart thing to do here would be to use the Chaos Breaker to wipe out all three of these Chimeras at once, but that would be such a waste. Such a waste of experience points that I am going to refuse. And as you can see, those blue dragons are holding fast. They're not going to advance. They are much too busy trying to protect those archers up there. Now, it's entirely possible I will still die because I put Bouffant there. That is entirely possible. Hopefully it won't happen. If Hanzhao takes out this Chimera, he should be okay. And he does. Nicely done, Hanzhao. Ninjaing it up like it's 1543. What do I want to do now? I suppose I should feed that Chimera to someone that needs it, like Lyle. And meanwhile, make sure Bouffant doesn't bite it. Or May, actually. May could use it. Yep, I think I'm going to have her use the halberd because, quite frankly, I don't want to take a chance on this guy evading. And May levels up. Very nice. Her attack increases, speed increases, and hit points increase a little. Not amazing, but not bad. What's that put her attack at? 47. Not the best. But not so miserable that she's useless. She does need to gain some more levels, though, because she is a bit behind relative to my other characters right now. Now, even with those Chimeras dead, I am still going to adhere to my original plan and advance from the left flank here, because there is no sense in charging right up the middle. Those blue dragons are every bit as tough as the Chimeras, and there's no reason to just run right at them when they have archer support and when they have other units that they can send right down my flank. One last little bit of healing for Bouffant here. Bring him back up to full health. And we will advance on those Cerberuses. Or Cerberi, or... I'm not really sure what the plural of Cerberus is. Because generally speaking, at least in the real world, Cerberus is a proper noun, right? That's the name of the three-headed dog that guards Hades. There isn't really supposed to be a plural of that. Now, I'm going to see if Hanzhao can pull a little hat trick here and just de-soul one of these enemies so that I don't have to deal with them. That would be really useful. But true to form, it doesn't work. Way to go, Hanzhao. Way to go. Weirdly, those enemies are staying in formation, despite the fact that there is someone very, very clearly in attack range. I might just have Hanzhao try D-Soul again, and then move in and take out that High Priest.
Yep, all those enemies are staying absolutely put. They have no interest whatsoever in engaging my force here. Which means I'm going to be able to give Hanzhao one more shot at his little soul steal shtick here. And try to kill one of these Cerberuses outright. And this time it works. Cerberus is defeated. And Hanzhao levels up again. A little attack level increase, a little defense increase, and a pretty nice max hit point increase. And his magic points increase, interestingly. Alright, this is a good opportunity for Mei to charge in and cause a little havoc. I believe she should be able to one-shot this High Priest. Assuming she can hit it. Yeah, you know, Mei really needs to improve her whole accuracy. What is her agility at, I wonder? 30. It's not that low. She has more than twice as much agility as that High Priest. I can't think of any good reason for her to be missing with such regularity. And Gort, as you can see, is an absolute maniac once he has the Atlas, dealing tons of damage with each attack. Alright, Lyle, go make yourself useful. I'm just gonna finish off that Cerberus, so we don't have any fire getting breathed on us. And a nice shot from Lyle, dealing plenty of damage and ushering in a level up. Little defense increase and a nice speed increase, which means he will be getting off even more shots. Meanwhile, this High Priest decides to exact a little revenge on Mei. Maybe more than a little revenge. That's gotta be pretty embarrassing if you're Mei. Attacking some helpless priest, missing, then having him double attack you, and deal 14 damage. You are getting humiliated, Mei. Do you realize this? You need to step up your game. So, strangely, the enemy doesn't seem to realize that I'm just sort of walking around its blue dragons. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull this off, walking all the way around. Because that would be kind of hilarious. Alright, Mei, you need to finish this guy. Because this is just humiliating at this point. There we go. An easy one-shot for Mei. Now that she's good and pissed off. And if I weren't absolutely convinced that those archers were going to stay put, I would not be moving Chris up here. But let's be honest, they're not going anywhere. The AI in this game is just a little too predictable. You know, I'm not sure it's even worth going all the way around. What is Gort's defense? I have to remember this now. 43. And the attack with these guys... 53. Yeah, okay, I'll walk around. While Gort could easily just walk right up and take out one of those guys,
I'm not sure that it would be worth taking the beating he would get in return, as everyone moves in to retaliate. I need to form up behind these guys and then sweep in with one devastating move. It's kind of mind-blowing to me that when they were scripting the AI for this battle, they didn't account for the fact that you might be able to get around these guys. I don't know what they were thinking, just having them stay put in that formation like that. Alright. I'm going to do another quick save state and prepare for our push into the back of this line. That is an easy one-shot for Hanzhou. The horseman goes down with a single well-placed hit from the Doom Blade. And Kokichi can easily take out this horseman with a ranged attack. I think I will have him do just that. Oh, well, maybe not. Guess the horseman has a little life left in him after all. Well, I'm especially glad I didn't put him right next to the horseman, because that would have decreased my avenues of attack. But Mei swoops in and finishes the job with a well-placed blow from the halberd. And the horseman spins around a bunch and explodes. True to form. Just like you would expect a horseman to do. And Musashi's going to start working on this blue dragon here. One thing I think is interesting, the blue dragon has 3 heads, whereas the Cerberus, which is actually really supposed to have 3 heads, only has 2 heads. Just a weird fact, something I just felt like pointing out. And here's Gort to wipe up the last of the horsemen. That horseman nailed with a blow from an axe. It felt like the weight of the world was crashing down on him. And in a way it was, because he got hit with the Atlas. Can Lyle finish off this blue dragon? Yes, he can! With a deadly attack that deals a whopping 38 points. Nicely done, Lyle. Unfortunately, Dao is just out of range for Blaze 4 here. And that's pretty unfortunate. But I'm going to have her stick around there. And unbelievably, the blue dragons are not moving. They are standing still. They are going to get massacred, folks. And they don't even care. I'm just going to move Hanzhou over here real fast, so that he is in position. Actually, Musashi's in position to do it too. To swoop around and take out that High Priest. This is unbelievable, folks. Some of the worst AI programming I have ever seen in a game. Yep. The armed skeletons are not going to move. They are perfectly happy right where they are, thanks. Watching the core of their army getting wiped out. And Mei levels up again. Really nice speed increase there. And a welcome defense increase. Very small attack increase, unfortunately, but with her defense up to 34, I feel like that's the most important thing, because her defense was lagging pretty badly before. She's still not up to par with my most heavily defended characters. Not by a long shot. And I feel like maybe she needs the Valkyrie. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to give it to her or leave it with Kokichi. I feel like either one would be a defensible move. That's interesting. I wonder why it's not giving me the option to attack. Oh, interesting. Those are treated like walls. Little experience point gain for Lyle there. Should put him in good stead. And here's Dao to mop up the blue dragon on the left with a... Oh wait, that's right, I can't put her there because of those things. So she's going to stand here and mop up that blue dragon on the left with a well-placed Blaze level 4. This should more than do it. 47 points of damage, folks. 47. And we're going to get to see the blue dragons attack for the first time. As you can see, they are nasty opponents. They deal really heavy damage. Luckily, it's nothing Mei can't handle. I think she actually has the lowest defense of all of my fighting characters right now, except for Kokichi. Which is kind of horrifying to think about, because she used to be the highest defense character. She is just not keeping up on the in the defense department. Alright, Mei, finish this blue dragon for me. We'll get you healed up, and then we will mop up the rest of these enemies. And so she does. Nice hit there, Mei. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use heal level 3. Just get this over with. That should bring her pretty close to maximum health. If not actually to maximum health. Yep, there we go. Alright folks, it's time for the final push. Mei is going to get us started off here by using the halberd on this entire group of enemies. And here's Hanzhou to finish off the High Priest, and put us in a position to mop up the rest of the skeletons with no trouble whatsoever. Holy cow! Now that was an attack, folks. 63 points of damage against that hapless priest. Poor sucker didn't even stand a chance. And Kokichi levels up. Nice attack increase, little speed increase, little hit point increase. Pretty decent. And the armed skeleton decides to use his machine gun on Mei. Not sure if that was his best option, actually, because even though that bypasses defense, Mei, quite frankly, doesn't have the highest defense to begin with. I think a regular attack might have actually done more damage to her. I'm going to have Henri finish off this skeleton down here before he gets a chance to go. Oh, interesting. There's another Atlas. Unfortunately, I only have one axe-wielding character, so there's really no reason for me to need that. And Domingo, low on magic points here, is casting the most powerful spell he can at the moment. But it's enough to level him up. Defense increases, speed increases, and his magic points increase. Very good. I'm not entirely sure, but I would like to think that he's pretty close. Pretty close to gaining freeze level 4. That would be extremely useful. And here's an opportunity for Chris to do some heal level 3 magic on May. Keep her out of harm's way. I'm going to give Lyle an opportunity to finish off this armed skeleton, but if he doesn't, then it's going to be up to May. But Lyle is more than adequate for the job. He takes him out and levels up to 9. Nice attack increase. Nice defense increase. Very good, Lyle. Well done. And so begins the second part of this battle, in which we are sandwiched, essentially, between King Ramladu and a bunch of robots. Of course, the robots are actually easier than what we just fought. I'm going to do a quick save state here. And I believe we are... I'm not sure if we're out of time, but what the heck. I guess I'll just go ahead and, if necessary, I'll just cut this into 2 videos. So, let's see. We don't want to march right into the middle of that. As much as I would love to just torpedo that torch eye right there, I think I'm going to swing around to the left here. And start off by killing this steel claw. King Ramladu is not going to move from that spot. He's not going to budge even an inch until we go up to meet him. So I'm free to take out all these robots at will. And Hanzao levels up. Nice, nice, nice. A very good level up for the scrappy ninja. Unfortunately, every single one of these enemies has defense bypassing attacks, so they are all high priority. A good level up for May, but unfortunately her attack didn't increase, which is a little worrisome. And Musashi one-shots a torch eye, because he is just that badass. Well, I guess Domingo's going to support Buffon here with a little freeze level 3. He's got to level up and learn freeze level 4 sooner or later. I just don't know when that will happen. This is a good opportunity for Gort to make good use of the heat axe, finish off this steel claw, and reduce by yet one more the number of robots we have to face on the coming turns. Thankfully, and inexplicably, that steel claw decided to go for Hanzao instead of Dao, which was pretty much the worst decision it could have made on all levels. Unfortunately, this steel claw knows what's up, and it's using its defense bypassing attack against Buffon. It is entirely possible that I will lose simply because of all these defense bypassing attacks that these enemies have available to use against Buffon on this turn. All it'll take right now is just one of these Torch Eyes getting off a laser blast on Buffon, and that's game over. I need to make absolutely sure that that does not happen. And Henri absolutely bitch-slapping these Steel Claws into submission with a whirlwind of freeze magic. Very nice. Meanwhile, Hanzhao is absolutely unimpressed with the regular attack that the Steel Claw brings to bear against him. And Lyle is going to ensure that that Torch Eye doesn't even get the opportunity to attack Buffon with its defense bypassing attack. Kokichi, meanwhile, is in trouble here. And we desperately need to heal Buffon because he is really in rough shape right now. 2 laser blasts in a row will do that to a character with a mere 53 hit points. And, you know, 53 hit points is nothing to sneeze at, but at this point in the game, your characters can and should have at least that much, simply because of all the laser fire they're going to be taking. A character with 40 hit points in this game, all it'll take is 2 lasers and they're gone. Look at that. Lyle has 28 hit points, and now he's down to 8 instantaneously. Our healers are going to be busy, folks. Luckily, as tough as this is, we are in pretty good shape here, because we've already taken out, I believe, more than half of these robots, and it won't take a whole heck of a lot more to swat down the remaining ones. This puts us in really good shape, and man, another nice defense increase for Buffon there. And here's Dao coming in to finish off those robots with a well-placed Blaze level... you know what, let's make it Blaze level 3 just in case. I think Blaze level 2... yeah, you know, I'm not sure if Blaze level 2 would have done it. But why take the risk? When we know Blaze level 3 is up to the job. And Dao levels up again. Little attack increase, little defense increase, little hit point increase, and magic points increase by 2. Always useful. I think that should actually get her another shot with high-level blaze magic, which is nothing to sneeze at. No, you know what? I'm wrong. It does not get her another shot, but still really useful. I will never, ever complain about getting more magic points. I want to knock out these robots as quickly as possible. Ramwadu is a pretty ferocious opponent. Oh, Henri, that was terrible. Why would you do that? Why would you level up and gain nothing like that? You disappoint me. Ramladu's pretty ferocious, and there's no sense in tempting fate by going up there with a bunch of guys dead. Alright, Hanzao, I think you have it in you to knock out this Torch Eye. Why don't you go ahead and do that for me? In case it wasn't immediately obvious to you folks, Hanzao's kind of a badass. And I do not, even for a fraction of a second, regret using him to replace Ken, who, let's be honest, was kind of a sissy. A defensive 10 at this point in the game is just so totally unacceptable. I can't even find the words to express how unacceptable it is. Meanwhile, I'm sure Gort will be taking 1 point of damage from this. Yep. Not the best move. We have a lot of wounds to heal up here, folks, and limited magic points with which to do it. So I'm going to be making prodigious use of heal level 1, right before we head up and knock out King Ramladu. Let me think about this for a second. Lyle is doing well. May really need some extra experience because her attack is lagging. Lagging unacceptably, I might add. So I'm going to have her finish off that Steel Claw, I believe. And here we go. The Steel Claw goes down, May gets more experience, everyone's happy. Alright, time to start forming up and getting ready for our big confrontation with King Ramladu. As you can see, King Ramladu has 99 hit points and question mark magic points. He also has extremely powerful healing magic, which sort of calls into question why he didn't simply heal all those robots as I was destroying them. Or for that matter, all the other characters that I knocked the crap out of on my way up to fight him. Still, I don't know if you noticed his attack. Yeah, 93. He is a beast. He is going to one-shot a lot of your characters. You just kinda have to expect it and be prepared for it. Unless you're grotesquely overleveled, your characters are going to die when you go up to fight him. And you just have to knock him out as quickly as possible before he kills pretty much everyone you have. Also, this seems like it should be an obvious point, but I'm going to go to the trouble of saying it anyway. Don't set your hero next to him. Unless your hero has crazy defense, Ramladu is probably going to one-shot him. Now, I'm pretty sure King Ramaladu doesn't actually budge from that spot ever, so you can take advantage of that. I think what I'm going to do before I actually start engaging with him, well, obviously I'm going to save state, but before I do anything else, I'm going to try to dispel him, keep him from healing himself. I'm not sure it's actually possible to succeed in doing this, but I figure it's worth a shot, because the faster we knock him out, the better. And if he's healing himself every 5 seconds, that is going to seriously complicate the job. Whoa, okay, he does move. Duly noted. Whew! Nice, nice, nice. Very well done, Musashi. I'm really proud of you for not getting nailed with that crazy attack that Ramaladu has. And it looks like we are now going to have to kick off the offensive here as a matter of necessity. Trying to decide if I want Hanzao to try dispelling him again. I guess it couldn't hurt. But on the other hand, he's in a unique position to get off an attack on him in melee range, so I'm going to have him do that instead. You know, worst possible thing is he heals himself, and that's a turn that he isn't using to kill one of my characters. I can think of way worse things. Nice hit there from Musashi. And Ramaladu is already hurting. Here's Domingo piling on with a freeze level 3. As you can see, King Ramaladu is somewhat magic resistant, but that still did pretty good damage. Here's Kokichi following up with a hit from the Valkyrie, which Ramaladu evades. It looks like it may be up to Dao and Henri to finish off Ramaladu, depending on how Gort does here. A nice hit. The Atlas digging deep into Ramaladu's armor. And let's see. Probably should not have kept Chris there. That would have been a good spot for Lyle to hang out in. But no matter. I need to keep a spot open for Henri so she can take this sucker out. Show him how it's done, Henri. And Ramaladu goes down. I am dying, but my mind is once more my own. Darksaw was controlling me. You must stop Darksaw. If he frees Dark Dragon, all of Rune is doomed. He has gone to the gate to summon the castle from the depths of the sea. Go! And King Ramaladu dies, a typical, dignified Shining Force death, turning around a bunch and exploding. So, as you can see, folks, we are very close to the end game here. There are only a handful of battles left in the game. I think there are only 3, to be precise. So, we are very close to finishing this up. But we are out of time for now, so that is going to have to wait for another episode or 2, probably 2. At which point we will be fighting the last battles in the game. Thank you so much for watching Let's Play Shining Force. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed fighting these battles. And when we come back, we will be digging into the last battles of the game. I'll see you next time.